Why, suddenly, is the Prime Minister's shadow falling across Prince Harry's courtroom drama? That is the question hovering over London this week. As unmistakable as the winter fog clinging to the Thames, Harry is back very publicly back in the United Kingdom and not quietly slipping through a side door. This was an entrance with intent, with cameras primed and headlines pre-written. He is here, officially, to fight associated newspapers, the publishers of the Daily Mail, Mail on Sunday, and Mail Online. But unofficially, something else is unfolding, something more political, more revealing, and far more uncomfortable. Court cases are supposed to be about facts. Yet this one has always been about narratives. Who leaked what, who knew when, and how certain confidential detailed private meetings, security arrangements, convenient reassurances somehow found their way into the nation's most voracious tabloids. These things do not simply drift into print like autumn leaves. They are placed, and when they are placed, someone benefits. What puzzled observers from the start was the contradiction. On the one hand, Harry insists he is unsafe without full, state-funded protection. On the other, newspapers carried oddly reassuring stories about his nailed-down security, about an inevitable restoration of protections that, in reality, had not even been formally reviewed. The Home Office was not amused, nor was the Home Secretary, already consumed by matters far more immediate than royal grievances, and hovering in the background, increasingly irritated, was Keir Starmer. Starmer has never been sentimental about monarchy. He is a lawyer's lawyer, a man of institutions rather than inherited mystique. To him, procedure matters, process matters. And what does not sit well is the sense that media pressure, public pressure, celebrity pressure is being applied to institutions that are meant to operate dispassionately, when stories appear suggesting decisions have been made before they are made. It is not merely inaccurate. Contrast that with his brother, who speaks easily, imperfectly, humanly, and you begin to see why Harry struggles when the script runs out. Outside the High Court, the optics were telling. Media vans everywhere, fans hardly any. This matters. Public sympathy is not a renewable resource, and Harry has spent it lavishly. Yet he argues that this safety evaporates the moment he leaves the courtroom steps. This is why Meghan, he says, cannot return, why his children cannot accompany him, and why, allegedly, July might be the earliest conceivable date for her reappearance stand, not coincidentally. With Invictus, if you're finding this fascinating so far, now is the moment to pause, subscribe, and stay with this story. Because what comes next is where law, politics, and public patience collide, and the consequences may be far greater than Harry anticipates. The difficulty for Prince Harry is not that he is making a case. It is that he is making too many cases at once, and they are beginning to contradict one another. If this visit passes without incident, and it almost certainly will, it quietly undermines his central claim: no threats, no disruptions, no chaos, just cameras, courtrooms, and controlled movement. In politics and law, absence of evidence does not always disprove a claim, but in the court of public opinion, it speaks loudly. This is where the problem sharpens. The Home Office does not operate on emotion or symbolism. It operates on assessments, thresholds, and precedent. Case-by-case solutions are being discussed. Yes, but even that is fraught, because once you establish a bespoke arrangement for a prince who really stepped away, you invite every other protected figure to ask why their case is different. Bureaucracies despise slippery slopes, and politicians fear them. Then there is the funding question. British taxpayers are in no mood to bankroll the return of the Sussexes, fair or not. The perception has hardened that Harry and Meghan criticized the country, profited from that criticism, and now want its protection without its obligations. In political terms, this is toxic. No government Labour or Conservative wants to be seen as capitulating to celebrity pressure. At a time of economic strain, Meghan Markle's standing complicates matters further. Her polling is poor, very poor. The recent decision to share more images of her children has raised eyebrows, not softened hearts. To some, it feels strategic rather than sincere. The memory lingers of moments declined. Traditions rejected, gestures spurned. In Britain, symbolism matters. Refusing it once does not mean you can summon it later at will. Harry, meanwhile, appears trapped by his own strategy. Each return to Britain to fight the fight adds another data point against his argument. Each smooth visit suggests that the danger is manageable, predictable, containable. And that is precisely what the Home Office must conclude if it is to deny his request. In seeking to slay perceived dragons, Harry may instead be sharpening the blade that cuts down his own case. Keir Starmer watches all of this with a lawyer's patience. He does not need to intervene loudly. Institutions, when left to function, often deliver outcomes more decisive than speeches ever could. And that may be the most sobering reality for Harry, that this story is slipping beyond his control. Guided not by sentiment, but by systems he can no longer influence. The court case will grind on. Weeks, possibly months. New details will emerge, and old ones will be re-examined. But the broader verdict, the one delivered by officials, voters, and history may already be forming. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think Harry has miscalculated, or is this a necessary stand? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this debate is far from over and your voice is part of it.